What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Steve. Thank you for joining us. New subscribers, returning subscribers. If you are new here, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe, of course. This is the most underrated sneaker YouTube channel that has ever existed, according to you guys, of course. I very much appreciate the praise and all of that. Couple house cleaning items. Hit the bell to make sure that you are notified, because if you just hit subscribe, you're not going to get notified about every video, and I post almost every week now. I'm pretty much on a 1 to 2 times a week schedule now, depending on how these shoes are rolling in, and they're rolling in. So let's talk about today's sneaker. It's got history wrapped all in it, and we have been primed for this release. There have been 2 prior releases in different colorways of this shoe. I just did them. I will link them at the end for you to check out as well. But this colorway is the one that I am certain just about everybody has been waiting for. We are talking about none other than the Nike Air Max 3, which we know as the Air Max 90, of course, in the infrared colorway. And yeah, this is the one I think we've all been waiting for. Before we get into it, let's take a closer look. I almost destroyed my shelf. Okay, let's take a closer look. Alright guys, welcome back, and now that you've seen a closer look at these bad boys right here, let's talk about what's going on. And like I said, this sneaker is full of history, and me personally, I love things that incorporate the history, the legacy, which is also why I love reading about the history and the legacy of things that I'm into, and in particular, sneakers. So if you are the same, I have linked some of my favorite sneaker books down in the description below. One of them being my favorite all time, which is Shoe Dog by Phil Knight. The whole story about Nike, you know, from its humble beginnings to where it is today. It's a phenomenal read. Highly recommend that. And so this, in terms of history, this shoe played a pretty big role in Nike as we know it today. I mean, this shoe came out as a running shoe in 1990, but it was more or less quickly adopted by the streets, right? And people started rocking this thing as a casual shoe, and it's evolved into a staple casual sneaker you see everywhere. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I've seen just about every type of person, age, race, gender, whatever, rock Air Max 90s, and in this case we're calling them the Air Max 3s because when they dropped they were called the Air Max 3. So when you see this listed on a website, they should have it as the Air Max 3, but know that this is the Air Max 90. So what makes this more special in terms of Air Max 90s that you can also get today that are still, you know, they're obviously still reproduced, but what makes this one special is that Nike has gone back to the original manufacturing techniques, materials, and all that to create a absolutely closest replica type of shoe that you can create. It's almost like this shoe traveled from 1990 and is now in our hands. And it doesn't just stop with the shoe itself, even the packaging is different. So the box that the shoe came in back in the day was longer. It's reflected there, and it's also reflected in the little accessories that you get with this shoe. So other than that hard plastic Nike hang tag, which we see with a lot of retro releases, this also comes with the anatomical arch support that you'll see, which is an add-on that you can add underneath the insole here. And then this one also came with a little brochure of the Nike International Collection from 1990, like a little flyer brochure thing of the apparel that you can pair and run with this sneaker, because remember, this was a true running sneaker. This was at its time the technological apex, and this is where we were. And I gotta say, you could probably still run in this thing. Now, what makes this thing special is the comfort. This thing is super comfortable, and in one of my prior videos on the recent releases they've done in the Air Max 3, someone referred to it as walking on marshmallows, and that's a great descriptor. It's very cushiony, very soft, very nice, and one of the key differences with this release as opposed to other Air Max 90 releases that have come out recently is that you are getting air in the forefoot. So it's not just the air here, which is the visible air, which is the one you see. There's also some air here in the forefoot, which mostly in most Air Max 90 releases you're getting just foam up front here. So that's the big deal. That's also why this costs a little bit more. I think it's $20 higher than a typical Air Max 90 release, which well worth it. I mean, the colorway is well worth it. So this is the infrared colorway, and infrared has a very long and storied history with Nike sneakers and of course Jordan brand sneakers. It's just a color that has just kind of taken on a character of its own, and it's something that sneakerheads all over just love, and I'm one of them. I mean, the almost pink, almost orange, red infrared color is just, it's kind of special. It's almost as iconic as the Nike orange, the orange shoebox that we know and love. So you'll see the infrared hits here on the midsole. You got it up here by the eyelets on these plastic pieces, and of course the iconic Nike Air badge on the back with the black Nike Air. Phenomenal. And those infrared hits on the bottom here going through the middle of the outsole. And then lastly, in the leather mudguard area going around here, you have the Nike Air in infrared done as well. I kind of wish these also came with infrared laces, but you can't get what you want all the time, and they probably didn't ship that way originally, and that's probably why Nike left it as is. But you get some nice crispy white laces here, and then I also love the use of the suede, and you got two different tones of gray here, which look really nice together. Darker gray swoosh, and one of my favorite elements of the Air Max 90 / Air Max 3 is how the swoosh is kind of cut off here by the black leather mudguard. I've always loved that look about the Air Max 90. Today it feels like a modern look. So it was so ahead of its time, but also timeless in a way. I love that. I've always been a fan of that. Then you get a really nice woven material with a sheen to it going over the toe box here, and that carries around the back here on the heel as well. Just a nice woven type of synthetic cotton material, whatever it is, and then you get a nice sheen on the tongue as well. Nice smooth kind of silky finish on the tongue, and then the classic Nike Air Max badge that is stitched onto the tongue here. Lots of uses of infrared, but not over the top. Very tastefully done, and as to be expected with a classic like this. I mean, if it was anything but tastefully done and timeless, it wouldn't be a sneaker that we just still go to day in and day out as our everyday use type of sneakers. And I mean, even when you think about things as crazy as the duck camos are or other colorways, it still has that timeless silhouette, those timeless design elements that make all those sneakers work so well. It really is, this sneaker here really is the sneaker that started all of those other releases and made all those releases as special as they are because of just how well done the first iteration was. As far as fit and finish on this sneaker go, I go with my true to size, and I've been enjoying it. I got the eggplants and the laser blues as well, and this one all my true to size 12. I think you'll be happy with that. And as far as quality goes, this is probably as close to as good as it gets. I don't see any glue marks. I don't see any misstitching. You got double stitching along all these pieces here in the upper. I mean, everything looks fantastic as it should, and I do think there's some extra attention to detail for this release, especially as they went back to the original tooling and things to make this sneaker. There definitely is a little bit more of attention to detail, and there's some also unique things about this sneaker other than the air in the forefoot. You get a much more cushiony or plush tongue. I feel like that's how I felt about these last three Air Max 3 releases, and you also get a nice soft fleece that's lining the interior. It's true to what was released back in 1990, and it feels like you're holding history, and that's what makes this sneaker so special. So with that, it comes with my full recommendation, and for resale and all that, guys, the resale isn't going too crazy. This was a pretty big release, but it's still sold out. But like I said, I think resale is still under $200, and this was a $140 retail sneaker. So if this is on your radar, I would imagine as more pairs get sold going to their forever homes, the value is just going to go up because supply and demand. So make your move if you have been thinking about securing a pair. And that does it for me, guys, on this video on the Air Max 3s in the infrared colorway, the true OG, fantastic through and through. Hope you enjoyed the video. Consider hitting that like and subscribe and joining the family. Make sure to hit the bell, of course. We talk sneakers on this channel, and I am the CEO of responding to comments. So I will hit you back if you drop a comment. Feel free to hit me up on IG as well at Steve Saw This, TikTok at Steve Saw This. I respond to all the comments there too. Also remember, I've got my favorite sneaker books linked in the description below. There's some Amazon links there for you to cop, and it helps me out because it's an affiliate link. Helps bring a little bit of money into this channel. I want to keep growing this channel because we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and I'm trying to do this thing full time and bring you guys the absolute best content that I can and do things way bigger than me just sitting here reviewing sneakers for you guys. You know, I've got plans, and your subscription, your comments, your likes, your engagement, helping push these videos out to other people is what's going to help me get there. So believe me when I tell you, you are very much appreciated, and I will try to show that as much as possible. So with that being said, hope you have a good day, good evening, good night. Whenever you're watching this, I appreciate your time, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.